Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to show you how to fill the MICAT form. So let's get started. So when it comes to MICA selection process, MICAT is conducted twice. There will be a MICAT 1 for which the registration process is on right now, and there will be a MICAT 2 as well. So MICAT 1 registration has already started. It started from 14 September and will close on 20th November. For MICAT 2, the registration will open from 23rd November and it will close on the 16th Jan. Now, whether should you take MICAT 1 or MICAT 2, my answer is very simple. You should consider taking both the attempts. Another important thing that you need to remember is that along with MICAT, you should also have at least one of the following three scores, which is CAT, XAT and the GMAT. In terms of the test year, it should be CAT 23, XAT 24 and GMAT 2022 onwards. Let's also look at the MICAT date. So MICAT 1 is going to be conducted on 2nd December and the scorecard for MICAT 1 will be released on December 21st. MICAT 2 will be conducted in Jan on the 27th Jan and the scorecard will be released on 15th February. In terms of the test structure, you're going to have three sections on MICAT. The section A is psychometric test, which is qualifying in nature. Section B, which is the descriptive part of it. It's very interesting section. And then section C, which is the aptitude part, which has 4 subsections in it. Now let's do one thing. Let's start filling the MICAT form. In the description of this particular video, you will see a detailed form filling guideline document as well, and you will find a link through which you can start the application process. So you can click on that link and I'm going to show you what are the things that you will have to do post that. So once you click on apply now button, these are the options that you're going to see. You will first of all see some instructions, and then there are some general links that they have given which have some documents. So terms and conditions and important dates, something that we have already seen. Steps for online application, something that I'm going to walk you through. Then if you're already registered, you can also click on that button to log in again. And then to register, there is another link that is given. So on the right side, you can see a button which says register. I'm going to click on that and show you what are the next things. So once you click on the register button, this is the screen that you will see. You will see register to get user ID and password, and on the left hand side you will see registration form for MICA 24. You will first have to select the salutation, post which applicant first name, which is a mandatory field, and then middle name and last name. These two fields are not mandatory. Mobile number will have to be entered and you will have to enter it again to confirm it, and the same thing applies to email ID as well. So you'll have to enter your email ID and enter it again to confirm it. Make sure that you put email ID and mobile number, which is something that you often use, and do not change it throughout the entire admission process. Once you have completed this information, you will have to click on the declaration. So you just have to click on I agree, and once you do that, you can submit the form. So once you have completed the initial registration, you will get a confirmation on your email ID and your mobile number. In that, it will show you the MICAT registration number. Using that, you can log in again to the dashboard, or you can simply click on go to application to continue with your application. Once you do that, this is the screen that you're going to see. So firstly, there are some instructions, and on the instructions, the important thing is the program or the exam. So there's a fellow program in management which is equivalent to PhD. Just in case you are somebody who is considering a PhD, you can apply for this program. Then for crafting creative communications, there's another program. But I'm assuming that most of you who are watching the video are interested in PGDM and the PGDM-C program, which is through MICAT 1 and MICAT 2. So for that, we have already looked at the important dates. Now what we are going to do is I'm going to show you the rest of the form. So on this screen, the first thing that we're going to start with is personal details. So let me show you what all fields are there. Now the first thing that will get auto-populated is your application number and the name of the applicant. After this, the first field is date of birth. It will auto-calculate your age. Then you have to choose the gender, nationality and the marital status. Name of father, occupation of father and academic qualification of father needs to be entered. And for the same data is required for mother or guardian as well. The next information that you need to enter is the correspondence address. You start with address line 1, which is mandatory, and then address line 2 and 3, which is not mandatory. You can enter the state, city and pin code, and if your permanent address is same as the present address, you can simply click on yes there. If it is different, you can enter the permanent residential address separately in the fields that are given to you. The next part is contact details. Here your mobile number and email ID will get auto-populated, and you have to enter alternate email address, it's a mandatory thing, and alternate mobile number as well, which is also mandatory. So you'll have to enter it once and enter it once again to confirm it. The next part is other details. There's only one question there, which is how did you come to know about MICA, and there are some options given. You can simply select coaching center in this particular case. And finally, there are two things remaining on this page, which is uploading your photograph and your signature. So for photograph and signature, once you click on it, it will show you two instructions. Please upload your recent passport size photograph and the maximum file size is going to be 80 KB. The format that is allowed is JPEG or JPG. Just in case you don't have a photograph which is matching the specification, you can use picresize.com to reduce the size of your photograph. The same is true for signature as well. So you have to upload your signature. The maximum file size is 80 KB and JPEG and JPG will get accepted. After successful upload, which is the second instruction, if you browse and upload again here, it will overwrite your previously uploaded document. So in case, let's say you upload a photo or a signature and for some reason you want to change it, you can do that by uploading that new file and it will overwrite the previously uploaded file. Once you are done, you can click on save and exit and move to the next step. So having completed the personal details, we have now moved to the next part, which is qualification details. There is an important note at the beginning that all letter or number grades should be converted and expressed as percentage only. So you will have to use the conversion which is provided by your university or board to convert any letter grade that you have or any GPA that you have. You have to convert that to percentage using the appropriate formula. The second thing is that candidates in the final year of graduation should indicate the percentage obtained in the second or third year examination. So if you are somebody who has data from your third year, then you can enter that. But if you don't have it, you can enter your second year information as well. The first part is 10th academic record, starting with the year of passing, percentage of marks, and then school or college name. All of these are mandatory fields. Post this, you'll have to enter the address, the city and the pin code of the college, and then board or the university. The exact same fields are applicable for 12th standard as well, starting from the year of passing, percentage of marks, then school or college name, and then address, city and the pin code of the school or the college. Then you will have to enter your board and university. The next part is going to be graduation details, and the first question is, have you completed your bachelor's degree or not? So here there are three options. You can either say yes or no, or you can say promotion or pass without marks, in which case you will not have to enter the marks that you have obtained. Now the next thing is going to be stream. So you have to choose your stream, and for stream there are a lot of options. You can select the applicable one from the drop down, and then year and percentage of marks. Then school, college name, address, city, pin code and board and university, similar to what we had for the 10th and the 12th standard. You can complete this information and move forward. The next two questions are related to any additional degree that you may have. The first part of it is master or PG details. So if you are somebody who has any master's or postgraduate qualification, then you can enter that information. Along with that, if there is any other additional degree, you can enter that as well. So there's a question which says, do you have any other degree? If it is applicable, you can select yes. And then the questions are similar, starting from stream, year, percentage of marks, and the rest of it, which was similar for your graduation as well. So you can enter this information if it is applicable to you. If it is not, you can simply say no for these two questions. And the last question on this particular page is regarding your work experience. So do you have work experience? Yes, no. If you don't have anything, you can simply select no. If you have work experience, you have to select yes. And then there is a note which is given, which is update your work experience till March 31st, 2024. So what you will have to do is you will have to calculate your experience as on 31st March 24. Now, if you are somebody who is planning to quit, you will have to factor that in and then enter the information accordingly. But otherwise, you will have to consider as if you are going to continue to work till March 31st and then enter the work experience that you have. Starting from the first one, so serial number 1, and you can add multiple experiences if you have that. So serial number 1 is essentially the first work experience that you have after graduation. So you can start with name of the organization, the designation, the nature of work and period in months, and then the compensation that was given to you in rupees per month is what you will have to enter. In addition to this, you will have to also enter the industrial sector. If you have multiple work experiences, you can add at this point of time. So let's say you have 2 experiences, serial number 1 will be the first one, and then the serial number 2, so you'll have to click on add new row and enter the information of that second work experience that you have. Once you have completed this page, you can click on save and next and move to the next step. The next part is going to be CAT, ZAT or GMAT details. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, in addition to MICAT, you will also have to submit either your CAT, XAT or GMAT score. So here the first thing that you have is the note, which is this should be filled only by candidates who are applying for the PGP, which is PGDM or the PGDM-C program. If you are somebody who is applying for CCC or the FPM, you can simply click on save and next without entering any information. Now, if you are somebody who is applying for the PGDM and the PGDM-C, which are 2-year full-time MBA equivalent programs, then you will have to mandatorily enter this information. So the question that you have is, as per selection criteria, which of the following scores would you like to submit? There are 3 options: CAT 23, XAT 24 and GMAT 22 onwards. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you the CAT part of it. So I'm going to click on yes and show you what are the follow-up questions. So I've selected CAT and let's go through the note. It says the CAT, XAT, GMAT details, and once you have that score and the registration number, then only select checkbox and update information. You can update your CAT, XAT, GMAT details till January 16, 2024. So you still have some time before you can enter that information. So if you don't want to do it right away, you can skip this part, but of course you'll have to enter it prior to 16 Jan. So CAT 23 score details, of course we don't have it at this point of time. But once you have it, you will have to come here and enter that information. Starting from the CAT registration number, followed by the VARC scaled score and percentile, DLR scaled score and percentile, and then QA scaled score and percentile. So once you have your CAT scorecard, the exact details that appear on that scorecard, the scaled score and the percentile, that needs to be entered, and then overall scaled score and percentile will have to be entered. Similarly for XAT and GMAT, in case you are submitting that score, you can also enter similar information. You can submit multiple scores, by the way. So if you have taken your CAT and XAT, you can submit both of those scores if you want to. That brings us to the penultimate step, which is MICAT 1. So the question is, do you want to apply for MICAT 1? Of course, you will select yes there, and then select the program for MICAT 1. So you have 2 options, PGDM and PGDM-C, and we strongly recommend you to select both the programs. In terms of preferences, you'll have to indicate what's your first preference. So PGDM-C should be your first preference because that is the program which has higher intake, and that is the program that they have been running for a very long time. PGDM was introduced later, and that is why you can give that as your second preference. Once you're done with this, you'll have to enter the choice of center for MICAT 1, which is the test city preference. So you have to indicate your first preference, second preference and the third preference. So you can select the city in which you want to take the test and give preferences. After this, there's a question which says, if you're shortlisted for the group exercise and personal interview, indicate your choice of the city or what is your first preference and then the second preference. So there are 3 preferences for the test city, and there are 2 preferences that you can give for the group exercise and the personal interview stage. Once you are done, you can click on save and next and move to the last step, which is going to be declaration and submitting the form. So now we are on the last step, which is payment, and it is asking me to pay 2,100 rupees. And at this point of time, it's very important that you go through all the data that you have entered so far. So there's an option which says preview. You can click on that and go through all the information that you have entered, starting from your personal details, qualification, CAT, XAT, GMAT details, and the MICAT 1. So once you are certain that I have entered all the right information, then you can make the payment and move forward. The payment page is a straightforward affair. So you have credit card, debit card, internet banking, and so on. You can select any mode in which you want to make the payment. And once you are done with the payment of 2,100, you have completed your application for MICAT 1. Thank you for watching. I hope this video has helped you and given you a nice overview of the entire process. In case you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment and I'll try to get back at the earliest. Thanks for watching. Wish all of you all the best for MICAT.